Hi, everyone, and welcome to Youth Amplified.
A podcast that inspires, empowers, and connects.
I'm Ronna.
And I'm Brian. And in the spotlight today, who cares for the carer? Shining a light on the silent struggles behind the support.
We're joined today by Joshua and founder of I'm Every Woman, Maureen Lemalu. So let's dive right in.
Absolutely.
Joshua.
Hello.
Hello. Now, a question for you. How does being a carer at a young age affect school, friendships, and leisure time?
Essentially, you're in a position where you're giving yourself and your time to the other people you care about, as opposed to being primarily focusing on what you have to do, such as participating in school or just hanging out with friends.
Maureen, talking about taking it from Josh, have you sort of ever felt invisible or unrecognized maybe in your role as a carer?
Oh, yes, definitely. Being a carer is already such a hard thing to do. And, when I was the first time mum to Caleb, who's got medical complex needs, I felt very alone and I felt very unseen. And although I'm busy in the background doing his medicine, doing everything that he needs to, to care for him, I felt like I was on my own. And so that was probably the hardest part of starting that journey as a carer. Obviously, at first, as a carer, I just completely shut down. That social person that I was, independent working, all of those things that I had worked hard for, all of a sudden came to a stop when I had Caleb. And when you become a carer, they fully relied on you. So there's really no choice other than to love them and give them everything they need. And as a carer, I wouldn't change that because he's, everything to me.
Would you feel that way as well?
I resonate that. So my background is I'm a second generation migrant that grew up in a single parent family. And being the eldest of three, often bears a lot of responsibility, not just with my younger siblings, but also the adults. You find yourself sometimes walking a tightrope, just making sure that, you get the essentials and the needs met within the household, but also knowing that you are only just one person, and you also have to take care of yourself and not burn yourself out in the process.
I'd love to hear Maureen's thoughts on this as well, in terms of what would help you to feel seen, supported, and valued as a carer.
Yeah, so I come from a very supportive family, a supportive church group, a supportive community. But at the same time, I didn't really want to be burdening people. And that's how I was thinking. If I reach out to somebody, that's why I became very invisible, because it was my own doing. It wasn't because my family wasn't reaching out and saying, oh, do you need help? And also at the same time, even though I had that support, I was very hesitant to ask for it because, I have to explain everything. And it's another thing that is already on heavy that you have to explain again. And then, and then the questions come with it. The questions come. So if you explain, for example, Caleb's got to get a hip surgery, then comes the question, does he need it? And then in my mind as a carer, I'm like, oh my gosh, am I doing the right thing? Because there's another question coming in. So I think going back to the question that you guys are asking, what can you guys do to help? Really, it doesn't have to be doing something. It's just a check-in. It can literally be just a check-in. I'm the person that's very independent. I'm happy to do things myself. But once in a while, it's different to go, oh, hey, how are you? A text message, hey, how are you? But really check in and say, and I can go back to a quick story where I was in the hospital and we'd been in there for quite some time. Caleb had his really long seizures and everyone was so concerned about Caleb, which of course, my sister-in-law came in and she looked at me and straight away she said to me, I know Caleb's not doing too good, but how are you? And in that moment, after 2 long years, I broke down and cried in that hospital because I was like, I'm actually not okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I think that was the first step for my healing. Is that she's gone, like someone close to me is gone, are you actually okay? Like, tell me the truth. And that's when I went, actually, why am I trying to be so strong? Like, why am I trying to put on this big facade that I'm doing great, I'm fine? And because the only reason why as well is because I'm so focused on looking after Caleb. I'm putting myself aside. So going back to the question, that really it's just simple, like checking in on, each other and really like zoning into, are they really okay or are they just saying they're okay? Yeah.
That's true. And I guess that brings us to the real topic, is who cares for the carer?
Ultimately, it's myself. And I've had to learn that the hard way. So if I don't take care of me, even for 10 minutes a day, shut yourself in the room and, listen to some music, whatever, that's really helped me daily. Say a quick prayer here, say, listen to one song here. So for me, it's myself. If I don't take care of me, then I can't take care of Caleb. I can't take care of people I need to care for, including my other children and the house. You know what I mean, Josh? Yeah.
Are we just talking about song? What's your feel-good song that you play?
But I do love my gospel songs, and then I love my country songs. I'm a very country girl.
What about you, Josh?
Oh, I have a mix. I like my classic rock and soul.
Oh.
Very good.
Yeah. But I guess for the kind of person that I am, some people would not even guess, like heavy metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But there's different ways to express the music, and as much as many people might perceive to be chaotic, I find it actually soothing. Yeah.
Gosh. Now, another question for you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about systems that might be in place for young people. So what are they in your mind? What's in place for young carers in schools and in communities?
The first thing that comes into my mind with schools is you have counselling services, and that helps to sort of ease the burden of just the day-to-day stresses.
Yes.
It's very important to be able to have an outlet. Another thing in the past that I've also been able to access is a service called CARER's New South Wales. Yes. And they've been an awesome hub full of resources, and I remember getting involved with the Young Carers program.
Excellent.
Yes.
You're deeply insightful, Joshua, which is incredible. And I'm just
Thank you.
really curious, as a carer yourself, have you ever felt like you had to hide the fact that you're a carer?
Yeah. Usually in my peer support groups, it's that fear of being judged. That there would be, I guess, caring responsibilities does come with a bit of seriousness, and it's very personal. So, I guess it's more of a process of who you sort of let in, and it's just also this desire to not, I guess, burden other people around you with maybe some of the challenges that come with caring.
And what about sacrifices that young carers have to make, Josh? That most people never notice.
Yes. I'm just thinking when I was 15, because I've had to look after the practicalities in the house, taking extra side jobs, for example, at an early age to just contribute to the running of the household. So a sacrifice of time, especially at that sort of developmental stage when I could be with my peers.
Yes.
You've had to grow up quickly.
Yes, that's right. You've had to almost become an adult yourself at a young age.
Did you find similar, Maureen?
Yeah. The sacrifices have been, the social aspect. When you become a mum, you're still able to go out and do fun things with your girlfriends and friends and family. And now it's all about working it around Caleb. So we can't, even for a holiday, holidays have to be close proximity of a hospital because of, his seizures, or we can't, everything pretty much is around their care. So we work around them. So not only have I had to sacrifice things, the family has, So Josh would have,
Yeah, 100%. It just made me reflect more about another experience, and that's accessing education. So as of this present day, I'm proud to share that I'm the first in my family to graduate.
Wow!
Thank you. It's been a big milestone, and I've shared my story out there, especially amongst university communities. But in early days, it was humble beginnings, especially between that transition from high school to university, and that was when my caring responsibilities, became challenging.
Yes.
Because the health and well-being and safety of your other family members also comes first.
Yeah. Very true. Maureen, from all this, I guess, came the big thing that you're involved with now, that you founded, I'm Every Woman.
Yes. So, obviously, Caleb is the inspiration behind my story and behind the charity that we have today. And it really started off as a mental wellness, group for myself. Something that I needed, creating that little space to chat to other women, to other mothers who are going through something similar. And that was like a healing process for myself, while being able to help other people in the community who are going through the same thing. So obviously, we go through the financial burden of, becoming a carer. When you lose your job, well, not lose your job, you have to sacrifice your job. You're emotionally going through things, mentally going through things, spiritually, like all of that physically. I was yo-yoing, going from tiny to big, and then that was happening constantly. And so I, trying to find that balance. So trying to find a space where I didn't have to burden my family and my friends, that's where it was birthed.
Maureen, let's stay with you. I'd really love to hear what message that you would like to give to teachers, friends, or government leaders about what it's like being a carer.
The message really is to really bring it to the community and let them know that we really need the resources, including in like special care, SSP schools. They're very limited in the staff and the resources that they have. So my son goes to SSP school, and they are one-on-one carers, like they're medically trained. So really, it's having the resources of being able to train the SLSOs, training the teachers, because realistically, these children or even the elderly are able to go somewhere without us caring for them, and someone else is doing the job for us, even if it's just for the school hours. But they also don't have the resources and the capacity to be able to do that. So really, we need some resources. We need some more support around that. I don't have all the answers on where we can get that, but that's where, we really need to advocate, and that's what we need to advocate for, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. I'd love to add to that and also say that being a carer can also be a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's a journey where you're juggling stability within the family system versus yourself. And so I think government, community leaders, decision makers need to recognize how important it is that and also elevate the role of carers in our society. And it just comes back down to this idea of stability. What happens if you don't take care of the carer? Then the systems around them and within family can sometimes fall apart. And so that becomes a big problem, because now extra problems can arise. So if we get the conditions for supporting the carer right in the first place, then things around them will be much more easier and stable. And at the end, we have the responsibility to take care of ourselves, and we know that. But sometimes just that juggle makes it hard. Sometimes you are, again, what we discussed earlier, in that position of sacrificing yourself. And when you sort of, for example, burn out, then you have to sort of reset yourself, and then, accomplishing what you're trying to do within your family takes much longer.
Yeah. And burnout is, if I can add, burnout is a serious thing when it comes to carers. I do that. I go, yes. And it comes to like 6 months and I burn out and I crash. Have to pick myself up. There's no other way. Like, pick yourself up and go, I have to do this. And then you go. You're good for 6 months, crash and burn again. And it's just ongoing. Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just like, can I go on a holiday?
Yes.
No.
But you can't.
You can't.
No, you can't. Yeah.
Josh, if you could, talking about all this, if you could swap one day of your life for a character from a book or a movie or a TV show, who would it be?
Oh, where do we start?
That's right.
Can I be Batman?
I see why not.
I love to carry what I do with pure intentions and doing the right things. But sometimes in society, it's not rewarded, or it doesn't feel like it's enough. And so, yeah, for those people who maybe not necessarily have compassion, I want to sort of keep them accountable.
Great, it'd just be Batman with a heavy metal theme.
I'm Batman! Yeah.
You bring a cat.
What would you, Maureen?
I thought along the same lines of, superhero. Because, not all superheroes
We're kids.
Yes. That's right. Exactly.
We don't do it for the recognition.
Don't. It's not even about the recognition. You know, we do what we do because we love the people that we're doing it for.
Yes.
Yeah. And so if we can be advocates for people like us, then that's, you know, yeah.
Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Maureen, for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
It's been really lovely having you.
Yes.
And till next fortnight, let's continue to inspire, empower, and connect. And remember,
Your
voice
matters.